Yeah, I have something today that's sort of like kind of stressful and sort of like a trauma thing. But yeah, I have. This is part two of the Draconian Ally, maybe kind of, I call it. And the part two is that, well, oh, hi, everybody. The part two is that as I was teaching my little boy self to sing the new, there was three or four things that came to my awareness, and one of them was, I wonder if we could make an agreement with the Draconian for the new presentation. But then I thought, oh, wait a minute, the influence might sneak in there and do something. Then I also thought, oh, wait a minute, my subconscious might be attached to it, or it might attach to my subconscious, like in Forbidden Planet. And so I didn't want that scenario. And then the other scenario was that I would have to keep or have a kind of razor's edge indifference. Now, the only time I have a razor's edge indifference is if I'm in danger or it's something that I need to be aware of. But after that razor's edge indifference, I feel like I ran a mile. I'm tired, and I physically tired, and I exhausted because it takes a lot for me to have a razor's edge indifference. So I thought, no, that would not be a good thing to always be exhausted. And then the other scenario was that if someone sees on the real side the Draconian next to me, they're going to think, oh, I'm part of them, or I'm working with them, and they're going to project something negative, either consciously or subconsciously. So I said, well, that's not a good idea. And then the other scenario said that this thing is sending out a certain frequency that it doesn't have the concept or the awareness of cause and effect. It'll just do whatever. And then the other idea came that because I've been doing the new and putting my intent on the isness of being and trying to think like 1,000 suns, that we're, trying to be more aware, that's why the Draconian then came back to be like a servant for me or an ally for me, like when I was a little boy, because I was shown how it was being used to attack me because they wanted its power. I was shown how it even wanted to almost kill me because certain people were doing certain rituals to take that kind of power away from me. In fact, I didn't even, as far as I know, I wouldn't even want anything like that. But anyways, so I thought, no, all these scenarios are not a good idea. That's when I got the idea, okay, you just need to do the new and whatever. And I couldn't hear it doing it, but I saw what happened with the brilliant white light from the head to the hips and from the feet to the hips, and then turned into a ball of light and bubbles of light, and it dispersed. But about a week later, all of a sudden, I don't know if it was from the backyard or something like the backyard, it came. All of a sudden it came and it stood right next to me on my right side. And I thought, wait a minute, I thought I took care of that. I gifted it, I asked it to do the new, and so I did it again. I asked it, oh yeah, you need to do the new. And the same thing happened with the light and the little balls of light as it's shining and brilliant, and then it dispersed. And then my true self and my intuition came forward, and they said, look, we're going to trace back where it came from. And as it was showing me, it was showing me because when it came, it left sort of like a trail. So when my intuition, my true self was showing me the tracing, it was showing me. And what it did was show me that it came from when I was 9 or 10 years old, that it's there when I'm 9 or 10 years old. So I had to do the new and tell it from 9 or 10 years old, the same thing. And then I was shown that I need to do this when I'm a preteen, when I'm a teenager, when I'm an older teenager, when I'm a young adult, on, to tell all of them in different time frames to do the new. And I finally had to, as I was doing this, I was methodically doing this, I also had to say, okay, in all time frames, because I was getting tired of going to different time frames. I said, okay, in all time frames, you Draconians need to do the new you, all of you, no matter what. When I was going to college with my girlfriends, cruising, night clubbing, whatever, you guys need to do the new you. And so I just did that. I just told them. And so every once in a while, I have to do that because I don't know when it might sneak up in a different time frame. So that's how I finally, that's part 2.
That's cool, Ramone. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, so everybody's making their own contact in their own way, many of us, etc., talking to so many body types. So it all kind of adds up and whatever. So you and Jeremy are there, and you guys have fun discussing this. That's so cool. Yeah, well, it's part of your book, yeah, that you're going to write. Thank you.